For those of you who have tuned in, you are watching the Jubilee Hour International, also aired on our online radio station, AJMM Radio 24. Our special guest today is Mary Jones of Agora Community Service, a nonprofit organization. This is brought to you under the auspices of Apostle Jean Morris Ministries and International Gathering of Apostles and Prophets Network with your host, Apostle Jean Morris. We invite you to call your friends and relatives. Let them know the Jubilee Hour International is on the air. You may send all correspondence for this broadcast to Mary Jones, Agora Community Services, Corporation, 1831 East 79th Street, between Jeffrey Boulevard and Stony Island in Chicago, Illinois, 60649. Her email address is 24.7@agoraservices.org. The website is www.agoraservices.org. Again, the email address is 24.7@agoraservices.org, and the website address www.agoraservices.org. We are so glad to meet with you today, Miss Mary Jones, and thank you so much for allowing us to visit you here in your office on today.
Thank you for coming, and I'm grateful for being on your show.
Well, we understand that you have made and are making tremendous inroads in our community in reference to the housing crisis, and that you are helping individuals to find property for home purchase. You are helping them with monies on many different levels, and we're going to discuss that today through your HUD certification. But first, we would love if you would let us know more about Mary Jones herself, and then you can tell us about your corporation.
Well, thank you. Well, let's see. We'll just say I share a little bit. I have had a passion for homelessness. I started back in 1989 in pursuing a real estate brokerage license, and it was used not for sales because I had no interest really in selling real estate. I really had a passion for housing single fathers and mothers that were facing homelessness. I then attended, at that time also, Roosevelt University for business administration because I also had a passion for making sure that if you have housing, that you have a business. So helping people develop business was another passion that I had at the same time. During that course, by 2008, the housing crisis was upon us at that point, and we then went on and applied for certification with HUD to become HUD-approved housing counseling agency.
Okay, and so your Agora Community Services is certified by HUD, the Housing Urban Development, and therefore you have many services that help community property owners find housing, afford housing, heating, and the like. And also you have post service and that you're helping homeowners even if they weren't successful with the foreclosure services. You're showing them how to leave their homes in a successful manner and rebuild their lives, getting ready for their next home ownership. Is this correct?
Yes, along with a lot of other services here at Agora, we believe that even if someone does have to leave their home, that it's not the end, it's still the beginning, and they can become a homeowner again. So we make sure that they have the transitional housing counseling that will make sure that they're able to get on the road to becoming mortgage ready again. And the programs that are out there that support that, we'll put them in touch with that at that time.
Okay, and we would like to ask, what are your staffing qualifications here at Agora Community Services?
Well, here at Agora we have a special model because we have 6 full-time staff and 2 part-time, but we also employ during the summer and fall months CAPS and Jewish vocational programs, both of them that we're able to actually bring on community residents to become trained here at Agora and actually hopefully become employed.
Oh, so are you saying that you also have like a re-entry program that helps individuals to find employment?
Definitely. We wanted to be able to be impactful in the community as far as income because, yes, housing is important, but you can't keep housing without income.
And that's the truth. Okay, now we would just like to know, how did Agora get started and what are your certifications?
Well, Agora got started, my husband and I, Pastor Jeffrey Jones, we started Agora because of the imminent housing crisis that we saw, and it was born out of a need to decrease the number of homeless families. With that, we also believe that if someone's interested in purchasing or someone already owns a home or if they're having trouble with their home, that there should be information readily available for that individual to address that specific issue. So they're able to put a question on our website, they're able to call us, whatever it is, the housing question that they have, if we don't have the answer, we'll be able to direct it to them. We also ask that if anyone has a housing question or concern keeping their mortgage, that they seek a housing counselor to sit down and review their mortgage first, to really know that they have reviewed every possible option. For example, if they're facing foreclosure, for example, make sure you know all the options before you go into bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. Bankruptcy may be able to stay a sale or keep that from happening, but you want to be sure that you have a resolution. So seek a housing counselor before you file bankruptcy.
Yes, and you are that housing counselor here at Agora Community Services. How many years has Agora been in existence? And can you speak more of your involvement in the community?
Well, Agora has been involved in the community since 1990, where we started with homelessness prevention through shelters. And then, so that's pretty much when we began. Mm-hmm. And we have collaborated with different community organizations in the community, churches, businesses, as well as different housing counseling agencies. We might collaborate with them and put on outreaches in the community, mm-hmm. in an effort to make sure that they understand that this is a service that's specifically designed for them, for yes. the homeowner, for the home buyer, yes. for anyone, for the renter. Even if you're renting and you're in a property that is being foreclosed on or on the verge of being foreclosed on, the renter has rights. Okay. We will make sure, or can make sure, they understand what those rights are.
Wow, yes and yes. And so I understand, and we understand that through your certifications with HUD and the federal government, that you are able to educate citizens on how to stay in their home, and also even how to purchase a home, first-time buyers, special programs. And so can you share with us some of the myriad of housing services? You've already touched on it briefly, but what are some of those programs that the people may say, oh, I need to quickly go on over there and get that service?
Well, I'll touch on a few, but the top ones really right now are understanding how to financially obtain and retain housing. And that is through financial literacy, credit, and budgeting. Those services are intertwined in all of our programs. Everything that we do, we're able to make sure that they have an understanding, so that they would be able to make wise decisions.
Yes.
And once they have that understanding, they'll be able to retain housing.
Okay, that is wonderful. Okay, and we thank you so much. I must say that I have been one of the foot soldiers listening to some of your staff, and one of your staff members gave me a short mini educational conversation, because I asked her, I said, why would I need to come to Agora Community Services to participate in the home buyer class? Could you explain that to me? She said, of course. She said, are you interested in down payment assistance? I said, well, of course. And she said, then you should come to Agora Community Services. And so I said, well, if I come to Agora Community Services and take your home buyers course, that means that now I qualify for home payment, down payment assistance? She said, absolutely. And I said, well, wow. Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. And so I was really amazed at the level of know-how that your staff have, and their passion to reach out to those who need help, either in obtaining property or in keeping the property that they have. Because I understand that Agora Community Services specializes in helping individuals not to lose their home if they are in foreclosure. I understand that Agora Community Services has made exceptional strides in education, but also in taking individuals by their hand and walking them through the salvation process. And today we're talking about the salvation of maintaining home ownership. I understand that there was a testimonial of a senior citizen couple, and you helped them with the home modification process. Would you share a little bit about that?
There are a lot of people that have definitely been helped in this modification with making home affordable. We believe that there's a lot more that can be helped. It's just a matter of having their mortgage reviewed for those options. One great success was definitely assisting a elderly couple that was struggling with their mortgage for over a year, and was actually able to take a $165,000 mortgage, and their lender decreased it through principal reduction down to $35,000.
Wow! So if we do the math, it comes up to, wow, saving a large savings, a whopping of a saving. So therefore you were able to help this couple, I think, have over $100,000 of their principal mortgage erased, eliminated, bye-bye, never to be seen again. And to me, that is so great a salvation. And I'm sure you'll agree with me, studio audience, and those out in TV land. So this is why we really wanted to get an audience with Mary Jones and the Agora Community Services, because they are definitely making inroads in this housing crisis that is upon us. And in such areas as helping with down payment, assisting individuals with programs that help you with down payment assistance, causing you to qualify to receive that financial help, educational financial literacy on how to be a business owner who owns 2+ units, so that you don't have to make the decision, do I pay my mortgage or do I pay my gas? And then in the end, you and your tenants are sent packing. So can you tell us more how Agora Community Services helps individuals who own 2+ units, how you show them how to be successful in that home ownership?
Thank you. That is a big area that has truly been underserved. A lot of the homeowners that faced foreclosure in the last 6 years, a lot of them actually owned another unit. Now that other unit could be the other unit of a 2-unit building, it could be another unit of a 4-unit building, it could be a totally separate property. Those additional units during this crisis, they had to make decisions, and decisions were made that ultimately caused them to get behind in their mortgage. So we have been providing since 2010 what's called 2-unit plus housing counseling. So homeowners that were in that situation or were faced with foreclosure, we were able to give them what's called landlord counseling. Landlord housing counseling helps them with knowing and understanding exactly where they are right now with the homeowners and with the housing that they own, and also strategies on what they could do to make sure that they're prepared, or that they make the decisions that are not going to affect their personal residence and cause them to face foreclosure or being homeless.
And we are so grateful to you for that, because we're seeing that foreclosure, instances of foreclosure in our communities is unprecedented. And can you share with us the rapid rate of foreclosures that are happening in our communities, and how your service has impacted the healing of this rapid demise in our communities?
The numbers are staggering. Right now, the foreclosures have fanned out a little bit. They're not as great as they were. However, our position is to make sure that they don't rise again. So whatever caused them as far as the lack of understanding of homeowners, housing counseling will make sure that those numbers don't increase. Another thing is homeownership is faced now with, we're hopefully coming out of the crisis and rebuilding, and that's what we're focusing on now, rebuilding, which is also part of financial literacy. In that rebuilding, we have what's called a home buyer club, where we're connecting to black clubs, because homeowners right now that are in communities, you don't want to see any more foreclosures in that community. And there's a part that you play to make sure that the community that you live in will no longer have foreclosures. We assist to make sure that you know what you can do as a homeowner. Because purchasing a home, you purchase the home, but you're also now invested in a community. And in order to make sure that your equity can continue to rise, because we're believing homeowners' home property values must go up. They've hit rock bottom. So in order for them to rise, homeowners must know what is their responsibility in that component of their equity being maintained and rising, and we assist with that too.
Wow and wow. So, Mary Jones, can you share with us again what are the facility locations where individuals can come if they need housing counseling, if they're faced with a dilemma, or they just want education, or if they want to increase their housing portfolio. What are those locations and telephone numbers?
All right. If anyone is interested or knows someone that is interested in getting any type of housing question answered at all, they can call us at our excuse me, at our South Side office at 1831 East 79th Street, and we have a 1-800 number, 1-800-518-5160, as well as we have a Southwest location, 11712 Southwestern Avenue. They can use the same number for that.
Okay, and then you have an additional number, 773-801-3790. Is that also a number?
That's an additional number.
Okay, that's an additional number to the 1-800 number, which is 1-800-518-5160. Well, what times are you open, and do you take walk-ins?
Walk-ins are welcomed. Call-ins are welcome. We're here from 10:30 in the morning. Our first appointment could be as early as 10:30, and our latest appointment could be as late as 6:30. However, we truly try to accommodate on weekends and later or earlier appointments. It's just whatever the need is, we try to accommodate.
Okay. And in closing, what do you see on the horizon for Agora Community Services as individuals are being pulled out of the dilemma of foreclosure and now have under their belt the understanding how to hold on to their properties, even as business owners who own 2+ units? Where do you want to take us from here, Ms. Jones?
Well, where I am praying and hoping that we're on a path to, and everyone under the sound of my voice is in agreement, that we have to build economic stability in our communities. Economic stability starts at home, and then from there spreads out through the community. The church is involved, all the businesses are involved, the gas stations are involved. Everyone is involved in that process, and understanding how to bring all of those community parts together is what Agora really wants to assist in.
And thank you so much again, Ms. Mary Jones.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And that is Agora Community Services. So you have been tuned in to the Jubilee Hour International under the auspices of Apostle Gene Morris Ministries, an international gathering of apostles and prophets network. We appreciate all correspondence and will be glad to put you in touch with Mary Jones and the Agora Community Housing Services. You may send all correspondence for this ministry and prayer requests to Apostle Gene Morris, P.O. Box 43106. Again, please send all correspondences to Apostle Gene Morris at P.O. Box 43106, Chicago, Illinois 60643. And until next time, God bless you and peace.